What's up, Ethan?
Hello.
How are you?
It is Tuesday, and we've got back-to-back. You have back-to-back-to-back, but I just had back-to-back.
Right.
Do. Let me get myself set up.
I believe there's to be a scorekeeper joining, so.
Huzzah. Do.
Katie, is it just the two of us today?
Are you on the conference line, EJ? Okay.
Debbie, can you make sure you're in the Slack?
Hello.
What's up, Rochelle?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Yourself?
Good. I need a scoreboard for you.
I would be ever in your debt.
Okay.
So for everybody who's joining, it's tpt.mykaplan.tv is your buzzer website, tpt.mykaplan.tv. You can use a web browser or your mobile device. Reminder that if you're using your mobile device, that you want to try to keep it from going to sleep on you, because you'll have to refresh the page when you get back into it. But all you have to do is refresh and you'll rejoin right away with the cookie that's been put on that browser. For you, Rochelle, it's tpt.mykaplan.tv/host.html.
Okay, hold on, /host.html. Yeah.
And then our two team names are as long as Tale of Two Cities. So I will give them to you here in chat. Hold on one second.
I used to have the.
And here you go, Debbie, tpt.mykaplan.tv. And I will say, Debbie, if you're having a tough time hearing, it might be tough to hear the question. So if we can solve for that, I will venture to do so. And Michelle, once you're good to go, there's the screen share button at the bottom of the Zoom window, the green one. If you just share your web browser, then Ethan can see the buzzer.
Yep. Hold on a second. I am trying to find the name of the teams.
I put it in Zoom chat if you're in Zoom.
Oh, in Zoom chat. Where is Zoom chat?
So you highlight over the window, and at the bottom there should be a little chat bubble. Or you can also, are you on a PC or a Mac?
Hold on a second. I'm on a PC.
If you hit Alt-H while you're in the Zoom window, it should pop open the chat.
Try to get rid of this.
And Debbie, we're waiting on the game code. Rochelle's going to have the game code momentarily.
Alt-H. Okay. Blue is friends. Oh, I lost the Zoom. I lost the.
So I can read it to you also if that is easier.
No, hold on. I have to go back into it. It's
I can stretch my vocal cords.
TPT. It says name. What do I put in her name?
Your given name at birth.
Oh, me.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Okay, so blue is benefits ones.
Yes. And if you just want to do benefits package instead of the full name, I think everybody would be fine with that here.
And the red?
Is all about the Bayes, Bayes.
BAYES. Yeah, that's a joke on data science. Very funny. Okay. Create game. Okay. 337. Okay. How do I share my screen? The bottom here?
Yep, that's correct. There's in the Zoom window, there's a green box. It's also Alt S if you're in the Zoom window. Okay. And then it should pop open the share screen, and then you can share the window that has your buzzer on it. There you have it. So for anybody who's in Zoom for the first time, if you want to exit out of full screen, you can either hit escape, or up in the right-hand corner of your screen, there'll be a leave full game mode, or full screen mode. Got my things mixed up there. But Debbie already test buzzed, but if we do a quick round of test buzzing, Rochelle, I think you guys are good to go.
Okay. Did everybody buzz? Okay.
We're making some updates here. Oh, here, okay.
Okay, is Ethan on?
Ethan was on. I think he's there.
I'm here.
Okay, hey Ethan.
Hello.
So AJ dropped off as they had 5 people, but I think you're good to go.
Who is captaining though over at Friends with Comprehensive Benefits Package? I didn't see Eric.
Volunteers.
I'm happy to do it. Is there anything special involved in it?
You have to volunteer as tribute. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, if there's a steal, then you will be the official answer for your team after discussing and then letting us know whether you want to pass or play.
Oh, okay. Hold on, Michael. Do you want to be that person then?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, Michael's going to be our person.
Sounds good. All right. Anything else we got to do tech-wise, or are you ready to go?
I think we're good to go from my side. Rochelle, you comfy?
Wait, we don't have Debbie showing up on our team yet.
Debbie, can you test buzz again? There you go. So that's just be a caching thing with the website. So as long as her browser's open and she can buzz, you're good to go.
Great. All right. Well, I know this is the second game for each of these teams, so I'll still go over many of the rules and regulations, just knowing that some of you may not have participated for your team in the first round. But this is the first match that I've hosted of the redemption bracket, as it's known, which means that 2 teams will enter today, but only one will continue on their journey towards TPT. One of you will be saying goodbye to today. After just a couple games, but we'll see how that all shakes out today. As a reminder, I'm Ethan. I met some of you last match, but those of you who I didn't, welcome back, and nice to see you. Today we're gonna go through just a normal old game, same kind of things that we would always expect. We will see 2 rounds, so there's a first round and a second round. In the first round, point values are 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. As the questions go up in difficulty and in point value. In the second round, those questions will be worth 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10 points. As a very important reminder, remember that you can, if you buzz in and if you answer incorrectly, those points are taken away from you. So there is a penalty for wrong answers and for guessing. In the case where you buzz in and you answer incorrectly, the other team will get a chance to try to go for a steal, and that's where our team captains. So Mike and Jason I'll throw it to you. I'll give you all about 10 seconds to confer, and then I'll ask you to come on to mic and let us know whether you intend to wager a guess or an answer, or whether you want to pass and not risk the points in the case of those steals. Okay, so we'll cover those as we encounter them today. Another important rule as you're buzzing in throughout the categories, and this was a rule that was added last year, is you can buzz in no more than 2 times in a given category. So if you've buzzed in twice in a category, answering correctly or incorrectly, I'll ask you to not buzz in again in the category, or else you will be penalized the points of that question. So I usually just recommend putting both your hands up as both a signal to me as a reminder and a reminder to you and the rest of your team that you will no longer be answering questions in that specific category. Once we've gone through the first round of categories, so 6 categories per round with 5 questions per category, we'll have a halftime round, a Kaplan crowdsourced potpourri, where you'll be asked a variety, 5 total questions from a variety of topics submitted by your fellow Kaplan employees. Those will each be worth 3 points. And again, you will be awarded the points if you answered correctly, or those points will be taken away from you in the case where they're answered incorrectly. Finally, there are occasionally questions within a category that we are unable to replicate here in TPT. And in those cases, we will substitute a surprise substitution and provide you a question from a completely different category than the one that's there. So just be aware that we may see the surprise substitutions pop up. And those still do count against your 2 times ringing in a given category. So remember, no more than 2 times in those 5 questions, even in the case where we have those surprise substitutions. Okay, I think that's most of the big stuff that you'll need to know. Give me a quick thumbs up if you're good with the rules, or feel free to come off of mic and let me know if you have a question. I'm seeing lots of thumbs ups. You got to put it in the camera range, otherwise I can't see it. Cool. And yeah, I think we got most things there. Dan, we need to keep Rochelle on with mic on for the buzzer? Is that right? I don't know if you can hear me.
How do I, you need me on camera?
No, you're on camera and you are on volume, but I can hear some of the background noise from you. So I'm just curious whether or not we need to keep you on mic or not.
I wasn't on mic, I didn't think. Sorry. Mute my audio.
All right. Well, hopefully we can still hear the buzzer, though. That's what I'm curious about. Can somebody buzz in for me really quickly and we'll reset it? Yeah, I can't hear the buzzer, but I can still see the buzzer. So I think we'll be okay, Rochelle. Now you're on mute, so I can't hear you. See that? Rochelle, we'll keep you on mute for now, and I will be able to see the buzzer as people buzz in. So we'll keep you on mute, and we'll see how that goes for the first couple questions. Should we need you to come back on audio, though, I will let you know. All right, give me one more thumbs up. Take a big stretch. Get ready. Thumbs up. All right. This is high stakes, right? 2 enter, only 1 will remain. Who will win? Let's see. Let's get started. Very first round, first questions, first category. This will give us a chance to break the ice here and see how this is going to work. Our very first question is going to be worth 1 point, and our very first category is going to be women on the map. Women on the map. So a category of geography questions, but women on the map. Hands on buzzers. Let's try to answer this first question for 1 point. This provincial capital on Vancouver Island is famous for its butchered gardens. Andrew.
Victoria.
Victoria is the correct provincial capital. Nice job for 1 point for all about the bays. 2 point question. 2 point question in women on the map. New Jersey's 4 largest cities in population are Newark, Jersey City, Paterson, and Her. Michael. Come off a mute for me.
Sorry about that. I don't know what happened there. What is Elizabeth?
Elizabeth is correct. Nice job. That's another lady on the map. Great job for 2 points for friends with benefits and a much longer name than that. 3-point question. 3-point question in Women on the Map. Hands on buzzers. It's the capital of South Australia and alphabetically first among the country's major cities. It's the capital of South Australia. Andrew.
Adelaide.
Adelaide is correct for 3 points. Nice job. Took a little bit of thinking there through your Australian major cities, but you got it. 4-point question. 4-point question in Women on the Map. Hands on buzzers. The city of Enid in this state is believed to be named for a character in Idols of the King. The city of Enid in this state is believed to be named for a character in Idols of the King. 5 seconds.
Can you spell Enid?
Enid is spelled E-N-I-D. Time, just like the women's name, Enid. It is Oklahoma, Enid, Oklahoma. It's on the map. Might not be as familiar with your Oklahoma geography as of late. That's okay. We got a 5-point question and our last question for Women on the Map. Hands on buzzers. Named for a Danish queen, it's the capital of the US Virgin Islands. Named for a Danish queen, it's the capital of the US Virgin Islands. 5 seconds. Time. Nobody's been on vacation to the Virgin Islands lately. It is Charlotte Amalie. Charlotte Amalie, one of the nicer, prettier names of capitals of places in the United States. All right, Charlotte Amalie. That's our last question for Women on the Map. So after one category, the score is all about that Bays 4 and Friends with a Comprehensive Benefits Package 2. So few points, some blood drawn on each side. That is our first category. We've got 5 more to go in our first round. Our second category in round number 1, Zach, you'll like this one. It's Zach Attack, questions about famous Zachs. And that could be spelled Zach, Zach, or Zach. Lots of different ways to spell Zach. All right, let's check out Zach Attack with a 1-point question. Hands on buzzers. Zachary Quinto showed us the logic as this character in 2009's Zach.
Spock.
Spock was the character in 2009 Star Trek. Nice job, Zach, getting the Zach question. Zachary Quinto. It's fun to say. 2-point question in Zach Attack. Hands on buzzers. Zach Johnson donned the green jacket as the 2007 winner of this sporting event. Mike.
What is the Masters?
The Masters is correct for 2 points. Nice job getting those points. 3-point question in Zach Attack. Hands on buzzers. He was the voice of Chicken Little in a 2005 film, but he's better known for his role in Scrubs. Jason.
Who is Zach Braff?
Zach Braff is correct for 3 points. Nice job all about that base. Keep going in Zach Attack. 4-point question. Hands on buzzers. He'll forever be remembered as Troy Bolton, the captain of his high school basketball team who can sing. Duncan.
Zac Efron.
Zac Efron is correct for 4 points, and I'm sure you're very proud that you knew the answer to High School Musical's Troy Bolton. And a 5-point question. 5-point question in Zach Attack. Hands on buzzers. Zach De La Roca tapped into his anger as the vocalist in this group. Zach.
Rage Against the Machine.
Rage Against the Machine. Way to bookend that category, Zach. Zach De La Roca. In this group featuring guitarist Tom Morello. Nice work. That broke the tie, and we've now got a 13-8 game. Red team takes a little bit of a lead on that 5-point question. Nice work. Two categories down. We're out of the Zachs, and we're going to jump into That Hurts. I have no idea what this category is about, but it's just That Hurts. Painful things. Who knows? Hands on buzzers for the 1-point question. In 1954, Becton Dickinson and Company created the first mass-produced disposable these items for vaccines? In 1954, Becton, Dickinson, Andrew.
Syringe.
Syringes is correct for 1 point. Those do hurt, right? Nice work for 1 point in that hurts. 2 point question in that hurts. Hands on buzzers. Angelina Jolie's lips are sometimes described as this hyphenated term, as if she'd been attacked by a flying insect. Angelina Jolie's lips are sometimes described as this hyphenated term, as if she'd been attacked by a flying insect. 5 seconds. Zach.
Mosquito bitten?
Mosquito bitten is incorrect. I'm going to take away 2 points. I'm going to throw it over to Mike and the team over on Friends with Comprehensive Benefits. I'll read it for you one more time, and then I'll let you confirm. Angelina Jolie's lips are sometimes described as this hyphenated term, as if she'd been attacked by a flying insect. Go ahead and take 10 seconds, and then come off mute. Angelina Jolie. All right, Mike, come off mute and let us know whether you're going to go or pass.
We're going to pass this question.
Going to pass. It's a little tough. There could be a few different ways to do it, but bee stung lips is the adjective that's used for that type of voluptuousness in the lips that you get from Angelina. All right, let's keep going in that hurts. 3 point question, 3 points. Before group, it means a sect separate from a larger body. By itself, it refers to a small shard of wood or bone. Before group, Zach.
Splinter?
Splinter is correct. A splinter sect, also a small shard of wood or bone. Yep, Zach, hands up. No more answers for you in this category of that hurts. But we have a good old 4 point question coming up. Hands on buzzers. At the website for this product, you can get an M18L with a laser sight that shoots 2 barbs deploying 50,000 volts. At the website for this product, you can get an M18L with a laser sight that shoots 2 barbs deploying 50,000 volts. 5 seconds. Time. Taser. We're looking for taser is the multi-barbed electric shocker. All right. Taser's definitely hurt. Last question in that hurts. 5 point question. Hands on buzzers. Clearing land by cutting trees down and then setting fire to them is called this and burn. Mike.
What is scorch?
Scorch is incorrect. I'm going to take away 5 points. I'll read it one more time. And then Jason and team, you can decide. Clearing land by cutting trees down and then setting fire to them is called this and burn.
Slash.
Slash is the word we're looking for. Slash and burn is the correct one. Scorch. Tough 5 point loss on that one. That gives us a 10 point swing, right? So now it's 20-3. But Friends with Comprehensive Benefits, I have faith you'll make your way back. But that is now our third category. We are halfway through round one. Nice work so far. Not too many stumpers. Let's jump to our next category, though. Category number 4. Let's check your musical knowledge. This is number 1 love songs. Number 1 love songs. And note that love is in quotation marks, meaning love will be in the answer to every one of these questions. All right. So love. We're looking for love in all the wrong places. 1 point question. 1 point question in number 1 love songs. Huey Lewis and Celine Dion both extolled love's potency with number 1s titled this. Huey Lewis and Celine Dion both extolled, Mike.
What is the power of love?
Power of Love is correct for 1 point. That's the love song we're looking for. 2 point question in love songs. Let's go. The Captain and Tennille took this hopeful declaration to number 1 in 1975. The captain and Tennille took this hopeful declaration to number one in 1975. 5 seconds. Time. Not everybody remembering where they were in 1975, listening to the radio, Captain and Tennille. I wasn't alive. Love Will Keep Us Together. Love Will Keep Us Together was the love song we were looking for. 3-point question in number one love songs. Hands on buzzers. Let's keep the love alive. Diana Ross and the Supremes hit number one in 1968 with this song about a girl who was, quote, never meant to be. Katie.
Tainted Love?
Tainted Love is incorrect. We'll take away 3 points on that incorrect answer, and we'll throw it over to Jason and team. I'll read it for you one more time, and then you can let me know. Diana Ross and the Supremes hit number one in 1968 with this song about a girl who was never meant to be. Never meant to be.
We're conferring. Hold on.
I don't know how to press the.
Debbie, don't. You got to tell me. Don't. You can't answer. We're gonna pass.
You gonna pass? All right. The child who was never meant to be was the Love Child. Love Child by Diana Ross and the Supremes. All right, nothing wagered on that. We got a 4-point question. Jason, just make sure to go back on mute. 4-point question in number one love songs coming up. Hands on buzzers. The OJs asked the whole world to join in and board this in 1973. Jason.
That would be the Love Train.
The Love Train is correct for 4 points, and thanks to Coors Light for bringing that gem back to us during football season. The Love Train is correct for 4 points. Nice work. And finally, 5-point question in number one love songs. Hands on buzzers. This 1970 number one public service announcement from the Jackson 5. Stop this may be your own. A 1970 number one public service announcement from the Jackson 5. Stop this may be your own. 5 seconds. Time, kind of an oddly written clue. Stop, the love you save may be your own. Stop, the love you save may be your own. Nobody wanted to jump in on that one. Cool. That's the end of our love songs round. Score is 24-1, all about that bass, picking up a few more points in our fourth category of round one. 2 more categories to go before we get to halftime. Let's look at category number 5. It's Alcoholics Eponymous. Alcoholics Eponymous. This is going to be about a number of different alcoholic things and the where they derive their names from. Alcoholics Eponymous. All right. Let's see how it works with the 1-point question. Get our feet wet. Hands on buzzers. New Orleans bartender Henry Ramos invented the Ramos Fizz, made with cream, egg whites, lime juice, and this liquor. New Orleans bartender Henry Ramos invented the Ramos Fizz, made with cream, egg whites, lime juice, and this liquor. 5 seconds. Time. Not as popular of a booze choice these days. Triple stumper on the show. Gin. Gin is the liquor in a Ramos Fizz. I enjoy a good gin and tonic, but not a Ramos Fizz. I don't know. The egg whites are always weird in drinks. 2-point question. 2-point questions in Alcoholics Eponymous. Hands on buzzers. This Kilmarnock grocer founded his eponymous red, black, and blue label Scotch whiskey brand in 1820. Mike.
What is Johnny Walker?
Johnny Walker is the man, the Kilmarnock grocer, who created the red, black, and blue label Scotch whiskey brand. Nice work for 2 points. 3-point question, Alcoholics Eponymous. The James who gave his nickname to this Kentucky bourbon brand was actually the founder's great-grandson? The James who gave his nickname to this Kentucky bourbon brand was actually the founder's Zach.
Jim Beam.
Jim Beam is the James we're looking for. Jim Beam for 3 points. Nice work. 4-point question. Alcoholics eponymous. The real first name of the maker of this Tennessee whiskey was Jasper, but a Jasper and Coke just doesn't. Zach.
Jack Daniels.
Jack Daniels is the Jasper Daniels is the correct person, but Jack Daniels, nice job. 2-point maximum in that. But we got a 5-point question for the rest of your team or the blue team to ring in on. Our last question here in Alcoholics Eponymous for 5 points, hands on buzzers. This popular spiced rum is named for a buccaneer who terrorized the Caribbean. Mike.
Who is Captain Morgan?
Captain Morgan is correct for the big point one in this category. Captain Morgan, he ended up the governor of Jamaica. The governor of Jamaica, Captain Morgan. Nice work for 5 points to tighten up the gap. It is 31-8 though at the end of the fifth category with just one category left in the round. And our final category, these are going to be pretty quick, so you'll want to buzz in quickly on these. Our last category are words that start and end with T. Words that start and end with T. All right, 1-point question. Hands on buzzers. A pad of writing paper or a pill? Jason.
Tablet.
Tablet is the starts and ends with T we're looking for. A pad of writing paper is a tablet. 2-point question. Hands on buzzers. A rundown apartment house. A rundown, Katie.
Tenement.
Tenement is correct for 2 points. Nice job, Katie. It's 2 points for the blue team. 3-point question. Starts and ends with T. A doodad or a small piece of jewelry. A doodad or a small piece. Mike.
What is a trinket?
A trinket is the starts and ends with T. Nice work for 3 points. 4-point question. A great stream as of water or lava. A great, Zach.
Torrent.
A torrent is correct for 4 points. And lastly, for 5 points, in starts with and ends with T, big point question here. In a right triangle, it's the ratio of the side opposite an acute angle to the side adjacent to the angle. Mike.
Oh, tangent.
Tangent is correct. Glad it came to you just in time. It's the ratio of the side opposite of an acute angle to the side adjacent to it. The good old SOHCAHTOA memory we had to get back to there. Tangent is correct, though, for 5 points. And at the end of round one, the score is 36-18, only 18 points dividing it. And if you remember, in round two, our point values will double. My patience will have, but we've got a good number of questions still to go. Before we do that, though, we're going to jump into our crowdsourced potpourri and try out a few questions submitted by other people who work here at Kaplan. All right, let me find it. Each of these questions, as I mentioned before, they are not in order of difficulty. They are just different questions. And they're all worth 3 points. So 3 points each. Again, answer them correctly, you get the 3 points. Answer incorrectly, you cede the 3 points and a chance for the other team to steal. All right, let's do our first question here in Kaplan crowdsourced potpourri for 3 points. On Twitter, it's a hashtag. In a conference call, it's a £. But if you see it in music, it's this. Duncan.
Was it sharp?
A sharp is correct for 3 points. Nice job. Good listening. 3-point question. Second question of our midpoint. Hands on buzzers. Joan of Arc famously led French forces defending this French city on April 29th, 1429. Joan of Arc famously led French forces defending this French city on April 29th, 1429. Time. There's a city named after it in the US where you can get a good gin fizz. It's Orleans, Orleans, as the French would call it in France. All right. Good stumper. Another 3-point question. Crowdsource potpourri, hands on buzzers. Of the original 12 companies listed on the Dow Jones Industrial Average in 1896, this multinational conglomerate, long headquartered in Fairfield, Connecticut, is the only one still on the index. Andrew.
General Electric.
General Electric is correct for 3 points. Nice job, Andrew. It's the only one that's still left. All right, 3-point question again. Another crowdsource potpourri, hands on buzzers. This was the one and only state that 1972 Democratic nominee for president, George McGovern, won in the general election. This is the only state. Andrew.
Minnesota.
Minnesota is incorrect. We'll take away 3 points, and I'll throw it over to Mike and team. Let me read it for you one more time. This was the one and only state that 1972 Democratic nominee for president, George McGovern, won in the general election.
We like to answer?
Sure, go for it.
Maryland.
Maryland is also incorrect, so we'll take away 3 points from you. So nothing really changes there. Andrew, you're thinking of a different election where Minnesota was the only one. I think that was Hubert Humphrey. But the answer is Massachusetts. Massachusetts was the only one. You both guessed M's. Not too far off, alphabetically at least. All right, we got one more question submitted from the crowdsource of potpourri. Hands on buzzers. Also known as Big Red, this famous 20th century racehorse never won the Kentucky Derby. Also known as Big Red, this famous 20th century racehorse never won the Kentucky Derby. 5 seconds. Time. Famous racehorse, Man o' War. Man o' War. Never won the Kentucky Derby, also known as Big Red. Thanks to Peter Kerr, Bill Keevan, Russell Schaefer, Hannah Flaherty, and Rebecca Stover for the questions from today. Remember that you too can submit questions to upcoming matches and potentially win a Bobka for doing so. But thank you to everybody who continues to write questions for our crowdsource potpourri. Score is still 36-18. Hey, look at that. 36-18 as we go into round two. Again, 6 more categories here. Point values 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10 points. So exciting stuff yet to come. Take another deep breath. Give yourself a good stretch before we get into the back half. All right. Let's start with a pretty tough category in round 2. Our first category for round 2 is Dickens title letter drop. Now, that might just seem like a bunch of weird words. Dickens title letter drop. I'm going to give you a clue that removes a single letter from a Dickens title, and I need the now Dickens title without that letter as the answer. Kind of makes sense. All right, let's do one. We'll see how it works. Dickens title letter drop. Hands on buzzers for 2 points. Drop a letter from Dickens' novel about pickpockets, and it becomes this story of an internal organ that's sprained. Drop a letter from Dickens' novel about pickpockets, and it becomes this story of an internal organ that's sprained. 5 seconds. Andrew.
I don't know if I'm answering this correctly, but it'd be like liver twist.
Liver twist is correct. You are answering it correctly. Yes, that is the now new name after dropping a letter. Liver twist is the internal organ that's sprained. Way to put it together for 2 points. We're going to have to deal with 4 more of these. Bear with me. 4-point question. 4-point question in Dickens title letter drop. Bah humbug. It's Rob Reiner's dad on December 25th. Bah humbug. It's Rob Reiner's dad. Mike.
Ebenezer Scrooge.
Ebenezer Scrooge is incorrect. We'll take away 4 points. I'll read it for you one more time, red team, and then you let me know. Bah humbug. It's Rob Reiner's dad on December 25th.
We're going to answer.
Go for it.
A Christmas Carol.
A Christmas Carol is correct. Dropping the O in A Christmas Carol. Make a Christmas Carol, just like Oliver Twist dropped the O, you get liver twist. All right. Good work. Nice job on the steal. 4 points there for A Christmas Carol. 6-point question. Test your Dickens 6-point question. The loss of a letter causes the evil Quilp and Little Nell to jump around on one leg a lot. The loss of a letter causes the evil Quilp and Little Nell to jump around on one leg a lot. 5 seconds. I see a lot of brains being scrambled. Time. The story would be the Old Curiosity Shop. This is the Old Curiosity Hop. The Old Curiosity Hop. Triple stumper on the show. Not surprised in this category. 8-point question. 8-point question in Drop a Dickens Letter. All right. It's a pip of a novel full of anticipation from Beowulf's people. It's a pip of a novel full of anticipation from Beowulf's people. Time. Beowulf's people were the Geat, G-E-A-T, the Geat expectations. Just drop the R. All right. We only have one more. Don't worry, just one more. But it's worth 10 points. So if you can get this, that's going to be a windfall for your team. All right. 10 points, drop a Dickens letter. Hands on your buzzers. Drop a letter from Dickens' last completed novel, and it's about that devilish guy that we both know. Mike.
I want to go out on a limb and say David Copperfield.
David Copperfield is incorrect. We'll take away 10 points. I will read the clue one more time for Jason Moss and crew. Drop a letter from Dickens' last completed novel, and it's about that devilish guy we both know. It's a pretty brutal category.
We're conferring.
Sure. You have a few more seconds.
I might say we're conferring unsuccessfully. We are going to pass.
You're going to pass. Our Mutual Friend was the book. The devilish guy we both know is Our Mutual Fiend. Our Mutual Fiend was the answer we were looking for. All right. We are done with that category. We can all move on. Score is 42-4. Still 5 more categories to go. Our next category takes us out of obscurely worded literature into movies at sea. Movies at sea. So category about movies. Maybe we'll do better here. Hands on buzzers, 2-point question in movies at sea. Yell barracuda, everybody says, huh, what? You yell shark and we've got a panic on our hands, is said in Katie.
Jaws.
Jaws is correct. That was not the best reading, but Jaws is correct. Is said in this film. You yell shark and we got a panic on our hands. Nice job for 2 points. Let's keep going in movies at sea for 4 points. A captain and his inexperienced crew patrol the Atlantic in a sub in this 1981 Wolfgang Petersen film with a German Jason.
Das Boot.
Das Boot, German for the boot, is correct for 4 points. Nice job on Das Boot. This Wolfgang Petersen film with a German title. All right. More movies at sea for 6 points. 6 points, hands on buzzers. One tagline for this 1997 Oscar winner was Collide with Destiny. Mike.
What is Titanic?
Titanic is correct for 6 points. 1997 Oscar winner, Collide with Destiny. It's an iceberg. Anyway, 8-point question. 8-point question in movies at sea. Hands on buzzers. This 1995 film with Kevin Costner as a amphibian, Andrew.
Waterworld.
Waterworld is correct as an amphibian. Cost an estimated $175 million and was a giant flop. Terrible movie, Waterworld. Nice job for 8 points. Last question, big 10-point question in movies at sea. Hands on buzzers. Jack Lemmon was Ensign Pulver in charge of laundry and morale aboard a ship called the Reluctant in this 1955 film. Jack Lemmon was Ensign Pulver in charge of laundry and morale aboard a ship called the Reluctant in this 1955 film? 5 seconds. Time. Yeah, I figured it'd be a tough one. It was Triple Stumper on the show. Mr. Roberts. Mr. Roberts was the name of the film. Okay, 2 categories down. We went from literature to water movies. Scores 54-12. Still 4 categories to go. Our next category is called Pillow Talk. Pillow Talk. Don't know what that means. We'll find out. 2-point question in Pillow Talk. Hands on buzzers. People with tailbone injuries find sweet relief sitting on pillows in the shapes of these sweet baked treats.
Donuts.
Donuts is correct for 2 points. People with tailbone injuries sit on donuts. All right. 4-point question in Pillow Talk. Hands on buzzers. This is the child carrying a pillow in a wedding procession. This is the child, Wilmelin. Come off mute for me.
Sorry, the ring bearer?
The ring bearer, not a bear, but the ring bearer is correct for 4 points. Nice work. 4 points there in Pillow Talk. 6-point question. 6 points. It's a small decorative pillow, also known as a scatter cushion. It's a small decorative pillow, also known as a scatter cushion. Time. Oh, Zach.
Throw pillow?
A throw pillow is correct. A throw pillow, a scatter cushion. I've never heard it called a scatter cushion. Has anybody here ever called it a scatter cushion? I think that's weird. I'm going to start calling my throw pillows scatter. Like, oh, I'm going to go dust the scatter cushions. All right. 8-point question. 8 points in Pillow Talk. Hands on buzzers. Homedics makes a pillow to support the part of the lower back named for these vertebrae just above the sacrum. Homedics, Zach.
Lumbar.
Lumbar are the vertebrae located just above the sacrum, correct? Get out of the buzzer. All right. Our last question for 10 points in pillows. Big point question. Don't forget this word that precedes foam in the name of a 4-pound wave pillow from Serta. Don't forget this word that precedes foam in the Andrew.
Memory.
Memory is what you should not forget. Nice job for the 10 points there. Memory foam is correct. Score after 3 rounds of 3 categories in the second round is 78-18. Benefits, you've got quite the hill you've got to climb back up in these last 3 categories. I still believe you can do it. Let's see what's going to happen, though, as we get into our next category. Our next category is words with diacritical marks. That's fun to say. Words with diacritical marks. That means like words with accents over them and things, right? So we'll see what happens. Hands on buzzers for the 2-point question. A woman engaged to be married. Katie.
Fiance.
Fiance is correct. That's got a diacritical mark on it. Fiance is correct for 2 points. Nice job, Katie. 4-point question. 4-point question. In a beverage or a hue, it precedes Olay. In a beverage or a hue. Debbie. Come off and mute.
Is it cafe?
Cafe Olay is correct. Cafe is the correct word. Nice job, Debbie. Cafe Olay. And not Olay like Olay. But, all right. 6-point question. 6-point question in diacritical marks. Hands on buzzers. A daytime movie or play. A daytime, Katie.
Matinee.
Matinee is correct for 6 points. Nice work. 8-point question in diacritical marks. And wait, we have a surprise substitution. I don't know the song, but the dancing taco indicates, as always, dance, 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 that we have a surprise substitution. So we're going to jump out of this category for 1 question and 1 question only to a completely different category. But it'll still be worth 8 points, and you'll still have a chance to gain those points here. We haven't seen much of this topic so far, so I think it's a good surprise substitution. Our surprise substitution for category for this question, and this question only, is sports and the media. Sports and the media. Hands on buzzers for this one 8-point question. On February 8th, 2010, the headline in a major newspaper in this city read, "Amen, after 43 years, our prayers are answered." On February 8th, 2010, the headline in a major newspaper in this city read, "Amen, after 43 years, our prayers are answered." 5 seconds. Andrew.
San Francisco.
San Francisco is incorrect. We're going to take away 8 points from you. That's a tough one. This one really racked my brain too. I'm going to throw it over to the blue team, Mike and team. I'll read it for you one more time. You'll have a chance to steal. On February 8th, 2010, the headline in a major newspaper in this city read, "Amen, after 43 years, our prayers are answered." Andrew, you might want to put yourself on mute too, just in case you're thinking. Amen, after 43 years, our prayers are answered.
This is it's a very difficult question because we just can't think of it. But we're gonna pass.
You're gonna pass.
I feel like I know it.
It is New Orleans. The
Oh.
New Orleans Saints Super Bowl victory, their first one ever after 43 years. The New Orleans Saints. All right. Well, we're going back to diacritical marks. I forgot we were even in diacritical marks with that question. 10-point question in diacritical words with diacritical marks. Hands on buzzers. This is a big point question. Let's see what we can do. This 2-word Native American tribe lived in the Pacific Northwest. This 2-word Native American tribe lived in the Pacific Northwest. 5 seconds. Time. Known for their pierced noses, the Nez Perce. Nez Perce. All right. It was a triple stumper on the show too, but not bad. Score is 74-26, so 50-ish points separating the two teams. 2 categories still to go. Our next category is going to be a favorite of you history buffs. It's I Know You Are, but it's actually I Know the ancient city of Ur. Okay. 2-point question in I Know The first major excavations of Ur were made after World War I by H.R. Hall of this London institution. The first major excavations of Ur were made after World War I by H.R. Hall. Mike.
The Smithsonian?
The Smithsonian is incorrect. We'll take away 2 points from y'all. I'll read it one more time for the red team. The first major excavations of Ur were made after World War I by H.R. Hall of this London institution.
Conferring. Hold on.
Conferring song. We whisper really quietly when it's the conferring song.
We're going to pass.
Gonna pass. The British Museum. The British Museum was where H.R. Hall was from. Nothing ventured there from the red team. We got a 4-point question about Ur. I know some people are going to be Wikipediaing this crazy Ur place after we're done. 4 points. One of the last kings to build at Ur was this great Persian, also called the Koresh. One of the last kings to build at Ur was this great Persian, also called Koresh. Andrew.
Cyrus.
Cyrus is the correct king. Nice job. Cyrus the Great for 4 points. Way to use your history brain on that one. I Know for 6 points. Hands on buzzers. Now called Tal al-Mukayyar, modern Ur is about 10 miles from Nasiriyah in this Mideast country. Now called Tal al-Mukayyar, modern Ur is about 10 miles from Nasiriyah in this Mideast country. Debbie.
Is it Iraq?
Iraq is correct for 6 points. Nice job, Debbie. Good work on that one for 6 points. We got an 8-point question coming up, and Debbie, just make sure you got it. 8-point question, and I know Ur. Ur is dominated by one of these stepped pyramidal temple towers dating from the 3rd millennium BC. Ur was dominated by one of these stepped pyramidal temple towers dating from the 3rd millennium BC. 5 seconds. Time, it's hard to say. Stepped pyramidal temple towers. Ziggurat. Ziggurat is the type of temple we were looking for, a ziggurat. All right. 10-point question in I know our big point question here. Hands on buzzers. Founded in the 4th millennium BC, Ur was the capital city of this oldest Mesopotamian civilization. Andrew.
Babylon.
Babylon is incorrect. I'm going to take away 10 points from All About the Bays. Just make sure to go back on mute, and I'll read it again for Friends with Comprehensive Benefits package. Again, we're 10 points here. Founded in the 4th millennium BC, Ur was a capital city of this oldest Mesopotamian civilization. Not sure if Mike disappeared.
He had to step out. I'm going to say Assyria.
Assyria is incorrect, so we'll take away 10 points as well. Sumeria was what we were looking for, and the oldest Mesopotamian civilization, of which Ur was a capital city. All right, we've got one category left. Trying to add up the points. We'll see what happens. It's 74-14. We've got one category left. This last category is called But What Am I? I'll tell you what something is not and a clue, and you tell me but what it is, right? I know but what am I? All right, let's see if we can figure out what these things are and see how this works. 2-point question in But What Am I? I'm not a canine. I'm this burrowing squirrel of the genus Cynomus that's ubiquitous on the plains of North America. Zach.
Prairie dog.
A prairie dog is correct. It is not a canine, but it is a burrowing squirrel. The prairie dog is correct for 2 points. 4-point question in But What Am I? I'm this colorful bird, formerly known as Cyanocida cristata. I am not a Canadian baseball player. I'm this colorful bird, formerly known as Cyanocida. Katie.
Oriole?
Oriole is incorrect. We'll take away 4 points. I'll turn it over to the red team. I'll read it for you one more time. I'm this colorful bird, formerly known as Cyanocida cristata. I am not a Canadian baseball player.
Blue Jay.
Blue Jay is the Canadian baseball player, and the bird known as Cyanocida cristata. Nice job for the 4 points and the steal.
Are we playing right now?
6-point question. 6-point question in What Am I? 6-point question in But What Am I? I'm P. anacritalis, the white species of this big-throated bird. More fish, please. I'm P. anacritalis. Mike.
Pelican?
Pelican is correct for 6 points. 8-point question in But What Am I? I'm C. laterostris, this South American crocodilian. I'm not an island group in the Caribbean. I'm C. laterostris, love this South American crocodilian. I'm not an island group in the Caribbean. 5 seconds. Duncan.
What is it? Cayman?
A caiman is correct. Great for money laundering. Also a type of South American crocodilian. That is correct for 8 points. Nice work. And our final question for 10 points in But What Am I? Hands on buzzers. I'm not a piece of farm equipment. I'm this shark of the genus Alopius that uses its long tail to stun prey. I'm not a piece of farm equipment. I'm this shark of the genus Alopius that uses its long tail to stun prey. 5 seconds. Time. It's also a verb in a famous LSAT logic game. Thresher, a thresher. Nobody wanted to bite on that one. Hey, final score, all about that Bays, 80 points. Friends with comprehensive benefits package.